Hello there. I wanted to talk about this brake line that I'm going to put in the system. Now, this is the one I got off eBay. Actually, I bought two of them because they only give you enough fittings for two units, and I needed four. So this is how it comes in this package. It comes with the line and the fittings. So let me put you up here. And so this is the pack of fittings that come with it. This one I haven't opened, and this one, the other one I did open. Comes with these straight fittings. This banjo type fitting. Well, this is the piece that goes in the banjo, and it comes with these copper washers. Comes with this little sleeve, and then it comes with these little brass parts that fit in the tubing. That the barb goes in the end of the tubing, and then this other piece sticks out, and you have to put a sleeve on it. The sleeve goes over there to capture that barb. So it's not a issue with the hardware. The hardware is actually in really good. They did a really good job on it. Like I said, you get these off of eBay. There's a lot of people that sell them. But how it goes together is you take this barb and you stick it into that hose, and then the sleeve goes over it like that. And then you connect it. You have this fitting here. So you have to put these fittings on before you finish this off. And that goes on there. And then you can attach it to a straight fitting. Well, you got to put a copper washer in there. But you attach it to a straight fitting. Or you can attach it to the banjo fitting. So typically you have a banjo on one end and then a straight fitting on the other end. And that's how it usually goes. But so it's not I didn't have an issue with the the parts, the issue I was having was trying to get these fittings onto this hose, because it's like it's not a plastic hose, it's like a fiber hose, and it's really hard to get this fitting onto there. I mean, I push and push and push, and I guess I just don't have the grip needed to push that in there. Now, on my other video, I made this this tool, this little press. I showed you about that on my other video. It's a little press. It's got a pin going through it, pivot point, and it's just a piece of channel attached to a couple pieces of angle. And I had this piece I made here that went into this slot here. And so what happened last time was I had this hose, and I put in some warm water, and I tried to push that barb in there, and I finally got it in there. And then I tried some brake fluid. I got the end of the hose sitting in some brake fluid. I don't think it's going to soften it up, but it'll help lubricate it a little bit, because it's a little oily. But anyway, what I tried to do is I made this piece here to go in there, and what that did is slides its sleeve up over that barb to capture that hose onto the barb. And how that worked was I put the sleeve onto the hose. It's a very tight fit. So I put the sleeve onto the hose, and that's as far as it can go. And then you got to push it the rest of the way. But I couldn't push it because I didn't want to distort it with a pair of pliers or any other kind of tool. So I came up with this idea, which I explained on my last video. It's got a flat bottom counterbore in there with a through hole for the hose to go through. So what happens is that this piece goes on here, and the bottom of this piece is what rides against the bottom of that sleeve. The sleeve has got a angle on it, both sides. And I thought about making something for it, and I said, well, I just use this piece because it's already got the angle of the sleeve already built into the bottom of the part. And that needs to push that up that way. So by making this goes into here, and then that fits down on that flat bottom. And then I put it in the press. I put this little piece on top that's got a hole in it to match that hole, and it just pushes down, pushes this down against that sleeve, and it seats it. Now that worked good. I tried that and it worked good. And it did a good job here. But the issue I was having, again, is trying to put that hose barb into the tube, because it's really hard. This is a very hard tube. It's not rubber. So I tried to cheat a little bit with my little taper thing here, and little pick. It's for like O-rings and stuff. I tried to push it in there. And I tried to make it a little bigger, but you don't want to make it too much bigger, because defeats the purpose of it trying to clamp down on those barbs. But I mean, you get it started, and then it's like really hard because it's small, you know, and you know, every time you try to push it in there, the hose just keeps moving back in your hand. It keeps pushing backwards. So I came up with this thing. I tried to figure out a way to hang on to this tube, and I thought about making, the first thing that come to my mind is some kind of taper thing to where this fits. There's a taper on the outside, and then it holds the inside. Then the more pressure you push on it, the taper pushes it further down into another taper, and it grabs it harder and harder. It's like one of those Chinese things, you know, the more you pull it apart, the harder it grips. And I said, well, that's a good idea, but you know, I only got 4 of these to do, 4 ends, and I don't want to, you know, spend a lot of time making a fixture that I'm only going to use 4 times. So I thought, well, the next easiest, well, actually easier than that, is to just drill a hole in a block and use it as a clamp. You drill a hole, and then you take a little cut on the inside the block, so it's not a full circle, it's only, you know, like a partial circle, because I didn't want to drill the hole and then take a, you know, run it on a bandsaw, because then the bandsaw is too wide, and it wouldn't leave hardly any circular part there. So I had to split it, and then drill the hole, and then come back and take another 10 or so off of one side. So that's what I did, and it's the same thing as this, you know, it fits in there. So I'm gonna try this for the first time. See, I can't see how I pushed that in there, and now I can't get it out. There we go. But that just fits up in there. Then that just clamps it down. Of course, you got to leave enough up here to where, you know, it's going to expand that out, because as it pushes down, it expands it out. So you can't have it down here, or else it won't expand it out. So you got to leave it up there. Actually, this gets inverted like this. It works this way. I wanted it to work this way, but the position of the cam action didn't give me enough leverage on it, so I have to invert it this way. I mean, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to invert it this way, and then try to press that piece in there. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to set you up on a different mount so we can look at this thing from a different angle. So I'm going to pause you. I'll rotate this around. Yeah, you can see that. I'm going to take this little piece. We'll get it started in there. Then I take this little piece that's got the hole in it, and it mounts like that. Oh yeah, look at that, huh? That wasn't bad. That worked out good. So we're going to unclamp that. Yeah, when I was trying to put that in with my hand, I was grabbing it and hurting my hand trying to push that brass thing in there, and this makes it a little bit easier. So we'll take that out of there. Then we'll mount the sleeve on there. See, that's as far as you can get it just by pushing on it. So now I'll take this guy here. And we'll mount that onto there. Then we'll take this other one, put that one in there. And that goes down there, and flat bottom holds that in place. So I'll take my little plunger thing, put that up there. Push that down like that. And now the sleeve is pushed up over that tubing. And that's a done deal there. Put the little brass washer in there, put the end on there, whether it's the banjo end or the straight end. One end gets, on this unit, one end gets the banjo, the other one gets a straight. But that worked out pretty good. Look at that, that's a nice fit. Now I explained this unit in my other video. Let me unclamp it here. This is kind of like one of those little presses they use for loading bullets, I guess. That's what it reminds me of. But it's just made out of some channel and this piece slides in there, and it's got a channel to slide in, keep it from going up and down, and keep it from moving back and forth. So when you put it in there, and I mounted a little screw hole in the back, and I got it going through the back of there, little flathead, but that was only when I had this one unit. Now when I couldn't get that sleeve on there, or the brass piece in there, so I had to make this this other piece, and I put a hole in there too to hold it in place. But when I put it up here to see how it worked, this is too high, so I had to invert this to get it down lower. Now the only other choice I had is to take this piece and raise it up further, so that this little piece on the bottom, this is a saw cut piece, just a little handle and little cutout piece from, this is a piece of scrap, and I put a hole through it and a couple pins, a couple of legs on the bottom, keep it from moving around. But that seemed to work out real good. That's the first time I put the brass piece in there with the barb on it. It worked out good. I got 4 of these hoses to make, so I guess that's 8 ends. I was thinking 4 ends, 4 hoses, 8 ends. So it took a little bit to make this. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot. I mean, you know, a really simple thing. But let me take a quick measurement on it. So it's about 10 inches tall, and the arm, I wasn't sure about the arm, but the arm seems to be about 9 inches. 9 inches. I figured, you know, I didn't want something that was, you know, 2 foot long, because I didn't think it was that much force. But then the channel itself, I mean, you can make it whatever you want. This is 2 inch. But just showing you the idea of it, because if you got a lot of these hoses to make, or if you're doing, you know, these are for like little go-karts and mini bikes and things of that nature. I'm not sure if they have anything on the market that will assemble this for you. I mean, if you're in a shop and you're doing this constantly, it would be nice to have something to do this with instead of trying to push those in by hand. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw it out there, and maybe somebody needs an idea and they could use this idea when they're making up their hoses. All right, I guess I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.